years ago, this was most people's idea of rhythmic gymnastics, mass keep-fit sessions with no competitive element. But in the last couple of decades, the sport of modern rhythmic gymnastics has developed to such an extent that it was a very popular part of the last Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Now, welcome to the Wembley Conference Centre, where we've got another major event in the development of the sport, the Silentnight Beds International, which perhaps brings together the best field that the sport has seen all season. We have got a couple of notable absentees. The Russians pulled out, and the talented North Koreans sadly were refused visas to enter the country. But we've still got 18 gymnasts who between them hold most of the world's major international titles. And that includes the reigning world champions, Bulgaria, and a British team with our own national champion, Jackie Levy. Now, the gymnasts compete over 4 elements: the club, the hoop, the ball, and the ribbon. And the first we're going to see is perhaps the very best in the world, the reigning world champion from Bulgaria, Dilyana Georgieva, and our commentators are Monica Phelps and John Taylor.
Well, Georgieva beginning her competition with the ball. In the World Championships, in the individual competition, she was the bronze medalist, joint with Relinka. Here look likely to make the rest of the competitors look a little bit in another league. But of course there's tremendous competition between the 3 girls here, very close at the top of the world rankings. In the movements, tremendous expression, very unusual positions that she finds, and then still that incredible accuracy of throw. Look at the extension there. Georgieva, a magnificent start to her competition, the world champion.
And what a cheer there for British champion Jacqueline Levy, Britain's #1 performer from Coventry. Very unusual leotard with the V and high-cut neck. Fortunate, like the Bulgarians, in having their own pianist present. Oh dear, losing the apparatus, she'll lose .1 for that. Let's hope she recovers her nerve. She didn't have time to, very near the end, and only a little slip, but otherwise a superb routine there from Jacqueline Levy. And Norway's only competitor, 18-year-old Ellen Gundersen. As many nations as possible will be thankful that they've been included in this very prestigious competition. One of the only competitions of its kind. in Europe. The judges, of course, looking for complicated movements, but also different levels. The performer has to jump, roll, go close to the floor, handle the apparatus, throw the apparatus, spin it, and twirl themselves. Change in tempo there. A requirement of the exercise.
Gymnastics is that they keep the apparatus moving all the time. She did it, kept her rhythm, and be well pleased with that for a start.
Jackie Levy, British champion, one of our main hopes here at Wembley this afternoon. Tell us a bit about your background in the sport. How did you actually get into modern rhythmic gymnastics?
Well, I started off doing artistic gymnastics, and then when I was about 10, I went for a trial for the national team, and I got into the national team, and I've been in it ever since.
So the ideal background for modern rhythmic is gymnastics itself. Were you a gymnast?
Well, I did some tumbling and floor work and vault. I think it's a good background because it gives you agility and suppleness, and you really need that for MRG.
And one thing you also need for MRG, it seems to us here today, an icy nerve. Do the nerves get to you much in a situation like this?
Sometimes they do. Once I'm out there, usually, and I get into my routine, I'm fine. But I think nerves are good because they make you more cautious. If you haven't got any nerves and you're careless with the apparatus, and that's when you make mistakes.
Went to Los Angeles, of course, for the Olympics. What kind of an experience was that for you?
Oh, it was a really good competition, very friendly, one of the most informal that I've ever been to, I think. I think that's probably because all the sports were there together. I didn't have a very good first day, but my second day was much better.
Were you able to gauge then, and are you able to gauge in this competition, exactly how far we are behind the rest of the world?
Well, I think you'll be able to see it quite clearly because the Bulgarians are so far ahead of everybody else. There's a lot of people on a similar standard in the middle, but there's certainly top few countries that stand out.
But we're catching up.
I think so.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
And another Bulgarian, Lilia Ignatova. This, the world champion in the ball exercise, and she was silver medalist in the all-round event. Look at even the unusual start. The suppleness of these gymnasts is quite extraordinary. The ball almost looks as though it's got a magnet attached to her. A beautiful 1.5 pirouette there into a balance. The audience appreciates every bit of this work.
I think the cricketer might have been proud of that one.
Well, that was just superb. I'm sure not many people have seen anything quite so beautiful performed in this country before.
Well, now another of the great Bulgarians, Anelia Relenkova, joint silver medalist in the last World Championships in the overall competition, and she won the bronze medal for the ball. extension and expression that the Bulgarians get into their movement, quite remarkable. The precision of that throw, just a couple of degrees out and it would have gone astray. Variety of twists and turns. They're not allowed to actually complete gymnastic tumbles while the throws are in the air. Beautiful, perfectly executed, marvelous routine from Emilia Relenkova.
So after round one, it's the world champion Dilyana Georgieva level with her Bulgarian teammate Ignatova. Those two on 9.85, Relenkova on 9.7, and the British girl Jacqueline Levy in fourth place on 9.1.
Julie Ramsden from Great Britain, 21 years old, her second piece of apparatus, the hoop. Julie scored 8.8 using the ball, so well down after the first round. Be anxious to climb up the places with this, the hoop exercise. Change of tempo in the routine there. It's a must there, just not getting a double roll in time to catch the hoop before it hit the floor. That would be a 0.1 deduction. A beautiful control, a difficult ending. Dilyana Georgieva from Bulgaria, joint leader at the end of the first round, and look at this sequence. And believe it or not, that was not tied to her feet. Looking so simple, yet the maximum diameter of that hoop is just 90 centimeters. Wonderful change of position for the throws. Tremendous variety. Leaving that roll very late on purpose. Extra marks for that originality. Almost threw it too far, but got it. A beautiful routine from Georgieva. Now, can that take her ahead of Ignatova, who scored 9.7 in her second round? Any better score than that, and she's in the lead.
And this very attractive young girl is Kristin Fruvert, 15-year-old from West Germany. Quite a beautiful looking girl. And I'm sure with added experience of these major competitions, she could become quite a force to be reckoned with in the Western European nations. excellent interpretation. A little mistake there, but clearly well covered up. Clever, whether it was meant to be that or how unfortunate, but how well recovered. A very good effort there from the young West German Kristin Fruvert. And this is Bulgaria's Anelia Ralenkova, and she is lying in third place at the moment, having scored 9.7 on her first piece. But she's world champion on the hoop exercise, so she could make a change in those positions. Notice the speed at which this girl works. The catches, the twirls, never stops.
The confidence, absolutely tremendous. Bouncing the hoop there and still knowing exactly where the catch comes from.
That's where they get the marks from above all of the other competitors, because they use unusual body parts over which to roll the hoop and from which to throw the hoop. Oh dear, and that's a slip, and that could cost her this championship. She really can't afford to make one slip with her two teammates, all world champions in their own right.
At the halfway position then, after the hoop and the ball, the world champion Georgieva out in front on 19.7, leading from Ignatova, Ralenkova in third place. But what a good performance from the two British girls, Jacqueline Levy and Lorraine Priest, together in fourth and fifth positions. We'll have more action from Wembley, the ribbon and the club's elements in just a moment. Welcome back to Wembley Conference Centre, the halfway stage in this Silentnight Beds Modern Rhythmic Gymnastics International, and really the Bulgarians having a bit of a private battle, filling the first three places. Georgieva leading from Ignatova and Ralenkova, but what a good performance from the British gymnast, Jackie Levy in fourth place and Lorraine Priest fifth. And with me is the British national coach, Jenny Bott. Jenny, you must be very pleased with that position at the halfway stage.
Yes, I'm thrilled to bits. With 18 gymnasts competing, to have our number 1 and 2 up there, you know, fighting with the Bulgarians is really good.
But how big a gulf is it between us and the Bulgarians at the moment?
Well, there still is a gulf, obviously, but our girls are improving all the time, and we've got youngsters coming up who are also improving, and so this is good for the sport in our country.
To reach this kind of level, in the British team certainly, what kind of dedication is required? What kind of training are these girls putting in?
Oh, tremendous dedication and a lot of hard work and training, and they're working 4, 5, 6 times a week, all of course in their spare time.
Now, a lot of gymnasts, young gymnasts perhaps watching at home, seeing modern rhythmic gymnastics at this level for the first time. What sort of basic talent do they need to become a good modern rhythmic gymnast?
Well, I think you will have seen already they need to be very supple indeed, very graceful and elegant, and an ability to work with the body and with the apparatus and show a sense of rhythm and general appreciation for music. Lots of talent needed, really.
Well, we've got our last two pieces of apparatus coming up now, the clubs and the ribbon. We'll rejoin our commentators, Monica Phelps and John Taylor.
Thank you.
And Great Britain's Lorraine Priest, now with her club routine. She's doing very well at the moment, lying in 5th place. She's from Leeds Athletic Institute and is coached by Anne Talentine, who is in fact on the panel of judges today, so she'll have to please her own coach. Nice turning leap while swinging the clubs. Girls must have to have tremendous memories to be able to remember 4 different routines with 4 different pieces of hand apparatus, memorizing each intricate step. Nice audience participation here from the home crowd, something that every competitor wants. And what an unfortunate mishap at the very end of the routine. Just that slight loss of concentration, and I bet she's mad with herself. And America's champion, Lydia Bree, she's lying in 11th place with her teammate at the halfway stage. Now the ribbon exercise. Throwing and catching the ribbon is the latest innovation in this exercise. Only in the last few years have they begun to release this hand apparatus. And the tail of the ribbon must never remain on the floor. It must always be in action. A dramatic piece of music and a dramatic exercise there from Lydia Bree. And this very striking Spanish girl, Montse Manzanares, she's doing extremely well. She's up in 6th place, just behind the British girls. Had a very consistent performance so far in the first half. This her 3rd discipline, the ribbon. Opening with a throw and a bounce and a recatch.
She's said to be the most promising of the Spanish girls, and I think that shows that she was the Spanish national junior champion, and she also won all the individual titles. That's very unusual.
She's certainly leading the field of the Spaniards today, so she's really proving herself.
It's a beautiful line with the ribbon. The secret has to be rhythmic, otherwise it suddenly gets tangled. But this beautiful movement, beautiful shapes, bounces again, beautiful recatch. Lovely exercise there from Montse Manzanares.
Bulgaria's Lilia Ignatova in 2nd place at the moment, only 0.15 behind her teammate, Georgieva.
One thing I think remarkable about these 3 girls, they can't steal a march on each other. They all train at the Physical Education Institute in Sofia, all under Neshka Rabeva, the national coach. So there's no hiding. Any new moves come out straight away.
And she's been watching them all through warm-up. So she's their greatest critic and I'm sure their greatest admirer too. This girl has had a tremendous record since 81. She's won 8 gold and 8 silver medals in World and European Championships.
Unusual mistake. Fairly simple move there to make the mistake on.
These girls lead a very busy life. They only arrived in London from Tokyo yesterday and trained as soon as they arrived. They didn't have time for jet lag. So, a little mistake, but otherwise a really amazing performance there. And Peter Matron encouraged onto the floor there from team manager Jenny Bott. Peter doing extremely well in this international championship. That's the first big throwing catch over with. She should have more confidence now. As they came down, but she managed to travel and catch them well. Peter, obviously not afraid of the pressure, able to cope magnificently.
And for the doubters, particularly the club's exercise, I think does show the coordination and the precision needed that really does make this a sport and not just an art form. A marvellous performance there from Peter Matron. Well, Anelia Ralenkova from Bulgaria in 3rd place at the moment. She was joint silver medalist in the last World Championships with Lilia Ignatova, but at the moment trailing her. Only 0.15, so she can still make it up.
These Bulgarian girls look extremely slim and fit. It's not all due to diet. They train for 7 hours a day. And they only have 1 rest day on a Thursday. So just imagine the work they get through in 7 hours with dance class.
Must be between 1 minute and 1 minute 30 seconds. Just look how much more the Bulgarians pile into their time than the rest of the competitors. The sheer pace of all their exercises, remarkable.
And this is obviously because of their high degree of fitness, breath control.
They're an amazingly difficult catch. Blind to it until the last moment when leaned over backwards. Wonderful exercise. Will it be enough to put her ahead of Ignatova?
And this 15-year-old Spaniard, the youngest girl in the competition today, is lying in 6th place. Monza Manzanares, leading all of her teammates, the least experienced, but obviously the most talented. A real performer, thoroughly enjoying demonstrating her skills on the floor.
suppleness. Really is very confident.
See why these Spaniards are doing so well in the world as well. They really have a positive approach. Quite a lot of showmanship from a very little girl. And British champion Jacqueline Levy, on her last discipline, she's held on to 4th place. She's scoring 27.45 after 3 disciplines. And to hold on to that place, she needs to do a good performance.
Tremendous 3 throws there, right in the first 15-20 seconds of her exercise. Really piling in the difficulty. It's good to see the British girls really looking to put as much content in as possible.
Oh, she's really on good form. Alternate throws and catches from left to right hand. Timing is magnificent. Not an error so far. That's the way we want it. Keep it up, Jackie. That was superb, absolutely superb. And she certainly enjoyed it as well as the audience and ourselves.
Yes, I think in her own competition, she's come first. She knew she couldn't catch the Bulgarians, and I'm sure that she'll be delighted with 4th place. Dilyana Georgieva, the world champion, the very last person to go in this competition, and the contest between the Bulgarians has been so tight she still needs 9.75. All the pressure on her. Can she do it?
Just watch the speed of this ribbon and the speed of her movements. All of the Bulgarians very fast moving in their routines. Tremendous high level of skill and activity.
Confidence there to take that behind her back. The hours and hours of practice paying off.
In fact, an amount of skill is in the family because Dilyana's mother was in the first ever Modern Rhythmic World Championships back in 1963.
No doubt that these 3 Bulgarians that we've been lucky enough to see here in London today would have dominated the Olympic Games in Los Angeles.
Well, it looked faultless. I wonder if the judges think so.
Well, I think that's no doubt about it. She must have held on to the 1st place, the true mark of a champion, all the pressure on her, but performed to perfection. And there it is, 9.9. So the winner of the Silentnight Beds International, Dilyana Georgieva. 3 British girls in the top 7, but the 3 Bulgarians supreme. And Dilyana Georgieva, the world champion, pulling out the highest score of the afternoon just when she needed it, 9.9 to take the competition.
Dilyana, many congratulations. Was that your best form that we've seen today?
I don't think so, because we are so tired from long traveling from Japan, and now my head was a little bit... but I don't make today big mistakes, only a little, but audience don't know.
Well, we didn't spot any for sure.
Only my coach knows it.
Right. Tell us a little bit about your training. How much do you train every day?
Before big competitions like World Championship or European, we training 5 or 6 hours of the day. But when we have not big competitions, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, different.
A lot of time. Diliana, many congratulations. You've delighted everyone here today. Thanks for talking to us. So that's the end of a first very successful Silentnight Beds International here at Wembley. The good news is that the competition is going to continue for the next couple of years, so that's maybe a chance for Britain to close the gap on some of those amazing Bulgarians. From us all here at Wembley, goodbye.